Zari Hussain is also joining us, Managing Director of News 9. Zari, your first comments on losing one of the tallest leaders from Assam.
Undoubtedly, he was one of the tallest leaders in the whole of the Northeast. Three-time Chief Minister, as you have rightly said. He breathed his last at 5:34. He was on life support. Actually, his health started failing ever since he was struck by COVID, sometime in August last. After that, he was there in the hospital for about 2 months. 2 months he was although later on he was COVID negative, but then after the effects of COVID, actually brought his health down. And after that, after 2 months, he was released. But then he was at home for about 10 days. And again, he started, his oxygen level dipped, his oxygen saturation level dipped. And after that, he was again shifted to the Gogoi Medical College Hospital. And then he was on life support since the last 3-4 days.
Zarir, Managing Editor Arnab Goswami is also joining us. He would like to have a conversation with you. Just one second.
Zarir.
Yes.
No, I just, thank you, Shivani. Zarir, Zarir, this is Arnab here. We all share a profound sense of loss, which actually for all of us who have had the honor and the privilege of knowing Mr. Tarun Gogoi personally like you have, I think India has lost one of its most vocal and tallest political leaders. Mr. Tarun Gogoi, Zarir, was one of those leaders who, while being in the Congress for years, had become an institution by himself. And even in Assam, across Assam, whether in power or out of power, Shri Tarun Gogoi has contributed an immeasurable amount to the political fabric of the country. And also in all the ups and downs of politics in the last, over 6 or 7 decades of his contribution, I think the one thing which endeared Tarun Gogoi to all of us, Zarir, is the fact that he was the most outspoken political leader that I have known. Very often even taking on a stand that did not agree with the Congress party's line on issues, even in internal Congress meetings, he would take his own line depending on what he felt was right and correct. So I think not only has Assam, the state of Assam, lost one of its tallest sons, but I think the country's political fabric, will be feeling the vacuum of the loss of Tarun Gogoi after this news. Zarir, from what I understand, Mr. Tarun Gogoi really fought valiantly.
Just coming in very briefly, Veerappa Moily, former Union Minister, is on the phone line with us. If you would like to go across to him.
Yes. Mr. Moily, good evening. This is Arnab here. It's a big loss for all of us, the passing away of Shri Tarun Gogoi. As his long-term colleague, how would you remember him, Mr. Moily? Oh, we lost Veerappa Moily's line, I'm told. I'd like to go back to Zarir. Zarir, what more can you tell us about Mr. Tarun Gogoi? He was very active even after, being in the opposition. He would do regular press conferences. He would interact with us, reporters. Zarir, I had the opportunity of meeting him so many times when he came to Mumbai, where he was being treated at the Asian Heart Institute. He would come for his regular checkups, and we had a long family association with him as well. He was very close to our family, to my uncle Dinesh Goswami, to my late father, Colonel Manoranjan Goswami. Zarir, what more can you tell us about him? And, how valiantly he fought in the last few weeks?
Arnab, as you have rightly said, he's very outspoken and politically so shrewd. Politically so shrewd. Normally, when you meet him or talk to him, he might sound like as if he's not aware about what's happening around him. But his political sense is so strong that he can just at the fingertips. He knows everything what's happening around him, and he knows exactly who are his key people who can, salvage or firefight, do the firefighting business in the event of any important happenings or any trouble that the government faces. Because as you know, Assam, a conflict zone. So during his tenure, during his 15-year-long tenure,
I will have to intervene for a minute, Zarir, if I may just intervene, I have Veerappa Moily back with me and Sushmita Dev as well. Mr. Moily, are you there, sir? This is Arnab here.
Yeah, I'm here.
How would you remember your long-term colleague, Sri Tarun Gogoi?
Tarun Gogoi has been one of our most illustrious leaders who combated many conflict situations very successfully. I was also in charge of Assam for some time, and I could see him, that he could mentor many of the young leaders, who have occupied the front line of politics of Assam. In him, we have lost a great son of northeastern states, and we could always depend upon him, for any task which is entrusted to him.
Absolutely. Mr. Moily, thank you so much.